Hey guys, Casey here. Welcome back to Lions Den Investments and Reviews. Hope you guys are having a good day. Let's get into the video here. I wanted to talk about the Metaverse, okay, and Decentraland because both of those tie together, right? You got Decentraland, which is a Metaverse platform, and then you've got, of course, the Metaverse, which is basically a whole new sector in blockchain that we saw emerge in 2021, and now we're here in 2022. So if you look at the market cap right now for Metaverse, I've been talking about the trends, okay? And if you're new to the channel, that's what we do over here. We're basically lions, ripping the face off this market, trying to get ahead of the curve when it comes to the trends. And one of those trends I kept telling you about was going to be Metaverse, NFTs, that sort of thing going into 2022. So looking at some of these projects, you're going to be able to get higher returns. And with the news that just came out from the U.S. Treasury, okay, just over the last couple of days, guys, if you're not aware, the smart money is dumping U.S. Treasury notes on the 2-year treasuries. And because of this, they're looking for higher returns. I mean, if you look at the average return on fixed index or fixed income assets like bonds, for instance, I mean, you're getting like 1 or 2% per year. I mean, it's a damn joke. You know what I mean? Like if you're an investor and or even somebody who's retired, you're gonna need to battle this inflation that we're dealing with right now. Due to the money printing, and the only way to do that is to look at other investments. So I think what you're gonna see here in 2022, like as far as where money is moving, money velocity, you're going to start seeing a lot of money flow into higher risk assets. So, it's basically risk on. You're going to get a lot of people investing in equities and stuff like this, with the blockchain space. But they're going to be looking at more like metaverse NFTs. So if we're just looking at the market cap right now on the metaverse sector of blockchain, you've got Decentraland at number one, Axe Infinity at number two, and then THETA, guys. If you're all my Thetians out there, or THETA investors, we just knocked out Sandbox out of we basically knocked them out of the number three spot here, and are coming in at number three at $4.4 billion. Now, if we go to the price charts, and the reason why I'm talking about THETA today, guys, is because I am an investor in THETA, and I've been in this project for well over 2.5 years. But we've been in a downward trend on THETA, guys, for at least 320 days or something like that. Let me just check real quick. And I mean, if we go all the way back here, right now we're at about 302. We'll just call it 302 days on the charts here of downward movement. But if you're looking at the weekly chart, one thing I did spot just recently was this double bottom. And if we move it to a daily chart, you can see it. It's a lot more prominent here. But we have a double bottom forming on THETA, guys. And I'm expecting, because this is a strong reversal pattern, to the upside, I'm expecting the prices to move a lot higher here over the next few months. Okay, especially with everything that we have going on. On a macro level with the inflation, like I was just telling you about. Big institutions, central banks around the world are dumping treasuries, and they're going to look for higher returns, okay, to battle this inflation. And if it's good enough for them, well, it's good enough for me too. Especially like when you got companies out here like Walmart who are gearing up to enter the metaverse, right? If it's good enough for Walmart, it's good enough for me too. They basically, just over the last week, guys, have submitted a total of 7 patent filings signaling plans to create its own digital currency and NFT collection, okay? I'm not going to go into this article, but basically, it's still pre-market. It hasn't hit the market yet. It's still in beta phase. They're gearing up. They've got a lot of blockchain developers, positions and jobs out there for that kind of thing. So they're going to need people to start helping them with that. But I'll leave a link in the description below because you can go check out their on their Twitter here. They've got a walkthrough of basically a demo of what they're trying to do with retail stores and tying that into the metaverse. So it's about a 2-minute video. I'm not going to play it here for you because it's going to take up too much time. and I want to move on. But I'll leave a link in the description below so you can go check that out. But that's Walmart, okay? That's catching the attention of the metaverse space here, and that's one of the trends that I told you you would start seeing going into 2022. So there's some good confirmation there. And then you also have this. Microsoft, okay, just made one of the largest deals in history for acquiring Activision in a $69 billion metaverse bet. Okay, so 69 billion, guys. And of course, we all know Microsoft is one of the largest gaming companies in the world. They've been in gaming since Xbox was created, and their competition was Sony. But Microsoft would become the world's number three gaming company with this acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Okay, it's priced in at 68.7 billion in the biggest gaming industry deal in the history of global technology giants, as they stake their claims to a virtual future. The deal announced by Microsoft on Tuesday, it's the biggest ever and set to be the largest all-cash acquisition on record. And that will bolster its firepower in the booming video gaming market, where it takes on leaders Tencent and Sony. Okay, so Microsoft's getting into it. You got Walmart. The list goes on, guys. But this is huge because I don't know if you guys have actually went in and checked out Decentraland yet. I was actually on there over the weekend, kind of playing around with it, just exploring around. So I created my own avatar. So if you haven't checked out Decentraland, go check it out. Not only that, but get an account set up with like Sandbox, Decentraland, and some of these other metaverse platforms that are starting to emerge. Because the more familiar you are with some of these metaverse platforms and the technology, the easier the transition is going to be for you when they in fact roll this all out, because that's essentially where they want to take us. Okay, it's a digital world that we're moving into. So just another point of evidence here as to what I'm talking about becoming a reality. The Australian Open swings into Metaverse on Decentraland. Okay, so this is the Australian Open in tennis. They're doing a virtual recreation of Melbourne Park, including the Rod Laver Arena and Grand Slam Park will be open for the duration of the AO tournament. Tennis Australia has partnered with Decentraland to host the Australian Open, AO, which will be the first official tennis Grand Slam in the metaverse, guys. And here they've got pictures, of course, of what that's going to look like. So they're saying the metaverse is not going anywhere, and as a company, we're invested in continuing to grow our online presence and push the boundaries of innovation. Now, I don't know if any of you guys watch Joe Rogan, but Joe Rogan's been talking about this as well, and he's had some extremely smart insiders on his channel, okay, that are in the blockchain space, and they're saying the same thing. So you can obviously see this is where the trend is going. So going back here, okay, one thing I noticed when I went into Decentraland is that, and I don't want to do it on this video because the bandwidth, okay, one thing I noticed was the bandwidth on Decentraland. It takes up a lot of bandwidth, so it can bog things down. And because of that, that's why I'm not shooting a video and taking you into Decentraland, because it would probably shut down my recording and I would have to start all over just because of the bandwidth that it uses. But it is one thing that I noticed was that the bandwidth on Decentraland, when you're using that, it needs to improve. And one of those projects that's going to help with that, and with all the other metaverse projects out there, guys, is THETA. Okay, because THETA is, like, their technology is by far one of the best I've seen when it comes to utility use case. I mean, you got Mitch Liu out there and J.E. Long, who's the CTO, and what they've done since 2018 has been nothing short of brilliant. Especially when you're talking about the live streaming video and bandwidth, because that is a serious problem when it comes to CDNs and content delivery network, right? And THETA solves that problem. and it's the first to actually do it in a decentralized way. So they're definitely going to need it moving forward in the metaverse, and that's why I'm staying in on Theta. Theta, I think, guys, is more of a long-term play. Okay, it's not one of these get rich by night, projects. Although you can see back here in back in February of 2021, we were down at like $2.46, and at the all-time high, we jumped up to about $16.60. So I think you'll probably end up seeing something similar as far as price movements once we get outside this downward trend that we've been in. And once that happens, we've got some levels of resistance here around like $8.14. We got one around $9.91. And then you might have a little bit up here around like $12.80. So we've got some levels there that we need to break. But I think once we turn around here and we get outside this downward trend, and we might possibly do that here, going into like the end of January, early February. But if we can get outside that downward trend here and start a new upward price movement or price action that's following these metaverse macro trends, we could very easily break some of these resistance levels and get us back into double digit figures. So that's what I'm hoping for. If you guys have Theta, one thing you can do is stake your Theta right now. You can take your T fuel if you got T fuel and use that as well and stake your T fuel. Right now I had to, like I said, I liquidated my T fuel just recently because I have a tax bill coming up. So, I don't basically I had to stake my Theta just to earn my T fuel back, and then I'm gonna go in and buy some more T fuel here soon, and then restake that as well. So it's a nice passive income play, and that is one thing that I am planning on doing here in 2022. Focusing in on a little bit more is some of these passive income plays, maybe with an ISO token like Algorand, and then of course looking at some of these metaverse projects, maybe diversifying my portfolio a little bit more here in 2022. So guys, that's really all I had for today's video. These markets are volatile, they go up and down like I always say. If we look at the Dow Jones right now, if we go over here, okay, this is the Dow Jones on the stock market for traditional markets. As you can see, we're rolling over here, and my bet is that we could probably see a market crash, so prices coming down. But that's nothing to really panic about, okay? If we come down here to say like 33,000 over the next couple weeks, which would be from where we're at, it'd be a couple thousand points. It's nothing really to worry about. If anything, it's just going to drop the prices of all assets and give you another buying opportunity before they, fire up the print presses, which they're going to have to do. And that, of course, would start the inflation and asset prices moving higher. Okay, so it's a great opportunity. It's nothing really to have a lot of fear over. And that's what I always say on my channel is have no fear, okay? But with that said, you guys have a good one, and I will talk to you later.